So in these strange times, what if you want to buy a Tesla? What if you want to go down to Tesla and test drive a car or learn about a car? What do you do? So this scenario came up to me yesterday. A friend of mine from when I lived in Ohio called me and said, hey, my mom is interested in a Tesla, and the Model Y specifically, and he thought he'd give me a call because he knows I'm into Tesla, and actually his words were, thought he'd give the top salesman for Tesla a call. I'm not the top salesman, but I have sold quite a few Teslas. So I explained to him the Model Y, explained to him about Tesla and as far as the charging. His mom is in her 70s, so I kind of geared it that way as far as what she needs in the garage for charging, what trips are like, because she's a snowbird, so she'll drive down to Florida for the wintertime, and how those trips would go. You know, everything was going smoothly, and then I said, well, she really needs to go test drive one. And it dawned on me, we live in some crazy times right now with this virus going around, and everyone's supposed to stay apart. Especially at her age, she should stay home. Especially in Ohio, it's a bad area. Down in North Carolina here, it's not as bad as it is most places in the country. So I thought, what do you do? I mean, besides knowing someone that has a Tesla, how do you experience one right now? So I went down to the Tesla store, and yes, social distancing. I went down there because I went to go pick up this. It was in service for some fitment issues and some minor things from delivery. I knew I was going to have some issues because this is a very low VIN number. Whatever, I was picking it up. So I went and talked to one of the delivery guys and said, hey, what is the deal? What do you do now if you want to buy a car? And basically he said, it's like it was in the old days. Everything's online. And hopefully you know somebody with a Tesla that can tell you about it or show you theirs. I mean, that's the way it is right now. It will be different. But so I asked him, I said, can I talk to anybody in sales as well? And he says, well, there's no sales team here in Charlotte. And again, this is just in the Charlotte store. Can't speak for all the other stores, what they're doing. But in Charlotte, the sales team is not there. They took all the cars out of the showroom. Can't go in there. There's really nothing there. The lights are off and everything, and all the salespeople are at home. But I did find out you can call Tesla and ask, you prompt 1 for sales, and it will actually ring to someone's house. They've got things forwarded so they can actually talk to people, which is really good. It's better than it was before. They can explain things to you, basically like I explained to him, that hopefully he can tell his mom. So there is a little bit better option than it was back in 2012, 2013. So they really can't test drive a car. So it got me thinking, you know, there's a lot of cars on the lot. I mean, the lot was packed. Mostly Model 3s, but there were some S's and X's, and I even saw some Model Ys on the parking lot. I said, so hey, are there Model Ys available? Have people backed out? And he says, yes, there's actually been quite a few people that have backed out. And I get it. You know, with a lot of people losing their jobs right now or being laid off and not knowing when you're going to go back, yes, of course, you're going to back out of the Model Y deal that you had going and you were excited for. So people have backed out and people are filling those orders. So if you're not one that's affected, so mainly basically if you're in the healthcare industry and now you want a Tesla, there's ones available in Charlotte, and I'm sure there's some in Raleigh and Atlanta and all over the country. Depends where you're at. Just call and ask for sales and they'll redirect you that way. It might not be updated on the computer that fast, but I'm sure you could find one. Maybe not exactly what you want, but you could probably pick it up very quickly. They are still doing deliveries. And when I was there, I saw quite a few deliveries actually. There's a lot of cars that they've built and they're still shipping them across the country. So you can take delivery of your car. It is a standoff kind of situation where they explain some things 6 feet apart and they're keeping their distance. So it's still a safe environment. Everything is sanitized. And when I actually dropped my car off for service, I pulled up to the door, the service doors are open, and I left it outside because there was someone already in there. Usually there's two garage doors open there. They had a fence, almost like those barriers you see at a bank. They had those 30 feet away from the counter, or 25 feet away from the counter, and they were talking from that distance.
Can I help you?
Basically going over what I had on for the appointment and what was needed to be fixed. And then they basically said, leave the key on the seat and they're going to come and disinfect the car before they bring it inside. Pretty cool. And of course they disinfected it before I came and picked it up. So it was sitting outside, all disinfected, ready to go. So we're not transmitting anything. So very awesome how they were handling everything to stay open. There's less people working back in service, but it's still cool to see how they're working. Still people are taking delivery of some cars. I ran into a friend, Jordan, who was picking up his Model Y. He wasn't on my video before, but I got to speak to him and Cooper. Cooper, you might remember, is the one who had that RV that had Tesla all over it. And I got to speak to them before they left with their new Model Y. So while I was at Tesla, telling you guys how to buy a Tesla during these times, I ran into Jordan. You guys don't know Jordan, but you've met Cooper before on my videos. He's the guy with the RV that has Tesla all over it, and he was giving away a Tesla. Here's the winner of the Tesla, and we got him hooked into Tesla a little bit because he's taking delivery of his Model Y today. Beautiful white, is it all-wheel drive white one? Yeah. Beautiful car. And so he just took delivery. And in these times where you still can take delivery of a Tesla, how do you like the Model S that you had?
Love it. It's performance P90 with ludicrous. So the performance is just incredible. And it's just a sleek car. But yeah, I mean, I gave it to my wife. We won it. Gave it to my wife. She had a Camry, and that's been her daily driver. But we want to get something that's a little bit more family friendly for the dogs and eventually kids. So here we are with the Model Y today.
Are you keeping the Model S?
No, we're not. We actually got it for sale right now to help get the Model Y.
It's a better car. I think it is. The Model S is great, but the Model Y is it's the best car Tesla makes right now, in my opinion. There's some great cars. Don't get me wrong. All 4 cars they make are awesome cars, but the Model Y is my favorite, not just because it's new. So one cool thing that I found out that Cooper did for the winner, how did you deliver the car to them?
Well, it got labeled the Tar Heel Tesla, right? And this started back in 2015 when we picked the car up. We struggled getting enough entries. So we had to go up and beyond the normal drawing. So what did we do? We floated the car over to Maui. So we included 2 round trips, 5-night stay, and the Maui Invitational Experience package with that. So when Jordan was drawn and we called him up, we told him that we would be flying them over to Maui to pick up the Tar Heel Tesla there and drive it to the tournament.
So you won a Tesla and a trip to Hawaii.
Correct, yeah. So a trip to Hawaii.
How come I didn't win? What the heck?
That was the bonus. Now, I mean, sweepstakes in these Teslas everywhere, yeah. Right? So the Maui Invitational is probably what we're going to do the next time. We're probably going to give 3 of those away. Awesome. 3 of those experiences like you did. And that'll be for this Thanksgiving. You know, what we learned going all the way across the country with this car, the lack of education throughout the rural areas on the Tesla yet.
Exactly.
People are still they're excited about it. They're not educated enough on it.
So where can people get information about your foundation?
Oh, at 7773foundation.com. The Instagram you want to look at is Dribble Across the USA.
So definitely check that out, and congratulations again and being part of the cult. I mean, Tesla family. So the whole point of this is, yes, you can still go get a car if you want to. There's still some available in different areas, and I'm sure they'll be able to ship some across. Cars are available. People are backing out of the cars that they had on order because of this situation, because we don't really know what the situation is going to be for people. Whether where you're working is going to be able to open up again. Depends how long this is going to go. It looks like another 30 days. So it's kind of crazy times, and it's kind of weird how businesses are trying to stay afloat and stay in business. I mean, if you're still spending some money on food, groceries and things like that, definitely hit up your local stores, your small stores, if they're open, because they're the ones that are going to be hit the worst. So try to keep your money local, stay awesome and stay positive, and stay safe. See ya.